Hello and welcome back to Tales Noir Preludes, or Tales, the Backbone Preludes, as it was originally going to be called. When we last left off, we got to deal with our benefactors, the Visitor.
Oh, hey.
And you must be Eli. Pleased to meet you, amigo. Just getting acquainted with your boss here. I think there's been a mistake. I'm the head scientist here. Oh, is that so? Must have gotten confused momentarily there. Sorry about that, boss man. Your assistant here gave me a different impression. Probably just a case of miscommunication. Miscommunication, of course. You two have had no other company except each other for a while. A stranger like me is liable to miss out on all manners of idiosyncratic social cues you two have got going out here. Ain't that swell? Don't worry, you get used to it. Ain't that something? Say, gotta ask, how do you handle the heat out here? You got scorches like this on the daily, or did I just pick the hottest day of the year to visit? No, this might be the hottest day so far. You don't say. Well, in that case, I won't let anyone ever tell me I didn't bring the heat wherever I go. You fellows must haven't had a visit since you got here, have you? Must get real lonely, huh? I do miss my apartment. Oh, I bet. Sleeping in a tent like this for months on end has got to leave you crooked as a Granville rat. Of course, you two are experts by now, ain't you? Who knows, maybe you'll get a penthouse back in the city once this is all over. Me? At a penthouse? Of course, boss man! Now, as much as I'm enjoying the company of you two fine fellas, why don't I move on to business at hand? Just for a moment. Sure, where do you want to start? Well, I've been never one for one long, tedious briefings here. Why don't you just give me the broad strokes on what's going on with your little, let's say, friend? There's still a lot to learn, but we've gained some expertise. It would be best if we were assigned a lab in the city for further research. Is that so? Well, I can imagine the two of you hitting a wall on the research you could do out in the desert, that's for sure. You said you've been experts. What do you mean by that exactly? Well... You've had a head start examining this thing. We're the first people that ever had to deal with something like this. Right guys in the right place at the right time, you mean? Looks like the two of you got real fortunate with this spot, huh? Tell me something. Why is it so important to get this thing into the city? Well, we don't know the exact effects of the artifact just yet. So it might hypothetically be dangerous then. It might, yeah. Well, I'll make sure to stand back whenever I get to that part of our little tour. Certainly, would you like to go now? Well, first things first, the boring ones, I suppose. Two of you kept a daily journal on your work, correct? Proper protocol and all that. Let's start there. Where do you keep your notes? In our tent. Perfect. I'm sure one of you can fill in the blanks and provide me with a little context, too. Not too keen on going over months of entries. Of course, I'll be right with you. I don't like how ready he was to invite himself into the tent, to let him rummage around in there on his own. Keep an eye on him, Eli. Need to get our stories straight. I should be the head scientist. I know, he just cornered me somehow. Didn't say I was the boss, he just insinuated it and spun it into a story. He's got away with words, Eli. Be careful with him. Try to keep your cool, Jorge. We got this. I don't know, Eli. This guy looks sharp. Sharper than I'd like him to be. Just watch what you say, alright? Check in with me whenever you have the time. I want to know what's going on. Alright, wish me luck. Okay. Let's go into the tent. How we doing?
Hey.
Cozy little place you got here. It's alright. Oh, sorry about that misunderstanding earlier. Your underling made it sound like he was the boss around here. You do that a lot? Not good at taking orders, huh? Jorge is an excellent scientist. Oh, I don't doubt it. Neither of you would be out here if you weren't. All I'm saying is that in my experience, research and reports to HQ tend to be assigned to a single name. For simplicity's sake, of course. Well, in that case, I do consider myself the senior scientist.
Uh-huh.
That's more like it. See, I knew you were the big brains of the operation. Don't you worry, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, this Jorge, what's he like? I don't mean professionally, I mean as a person. Go on, you can tell me. Well, we're going to appeal to this guy's own delusions. He can be a bit of a prick. I could tell. No offense, of course. I'm sure he's a swell guy sometimes, or at least with people he, likes spending time with. But with us, well, all he can see is where we're from. West End jealousy sometimes hits hard, glasses. I just wish he'd keep it professional. Preaching to the choir, brother. Professionalism, that's the key. Nothing wrong with being sociable, of course. When it falls on the other end of the spectrum, well, that's tough. That's what I say. Keep the childish nonsense away from work. Anyway, let's have a look at these journals, shall we? I confess I had a bit of look in there before you got in. Didn't get too far, though, so don't worry. No spoilers. Anything interesting?
Oh.
Let's start from the top. Would you mind showing me around which time you and the big fella first dug up our little friend? Okay. Let's show him the page. There we go. August 14th. So your colleague mentioned something about a low hum? It's turned out to be the scientific discovery of the century, I presume. Haven't reached quite a conclusion on that just yet, I'm afraid. Course, scientific process and all that. Either way, it sounds like you fellas were in for something way bigger than you were expecting, huh? We had some idea, but no, we weren't expecting this. No kidding. Now let's see. Well, looks like being experts come with some amount of acknowledging when HQ's right. You fellas agree that the wastes are all doom and gloom, huh? Well, we did find life out here. Suppose you did. Now, whether or not that spells doom and gloom, too, well, that remains to be seen. Ah! Don't worry. We know what we're doing. That's the spirit. How about we continue, then? Certainly. So, August 21st, the day you two started experimenting, huh? Be honest. Did it take a lot of convincing to get Jorge to go along with it? See the bigger picture? Yeah, he hated the idea. That's just like you, Glasses. Always stand your ground, don't you? Man of principle. It's what I like to see. It makes you know who to trust, right? I'm just glad someone finally sees the same way. No doubt, no doubt. Gotta say, Glasses, you kept some immaculate notes at times. Love the writing, bud. Yeah, it's nonsense. I just get bored at times. No need to explain. I know exactly how that is. And besides, we're almost done here anyway. This looks like this morning's entry. Fairly standard update by the looks of it. Okay. Also, this morning you wrote, well, I'll be looking highly volatile and unstable. Didn't I pick just a day to come visit, huh? That thing, that artifact. Just had to go nuts. Today of all days. Just my luck.
Oh.
Well, you said it yourself. Things different from anything you've seen before, so it's bound to have some surprises up its sleeves. I'll just make sure I'm careful when you have a look at it. Of course.
Oh.
Anyway, that's the journalist out of the way. Sorry for all the questions, buddy. Just routine. Yeah, I gotta understand that. Gotta make sure you two know what you're doing out here. Of course, I understand. Great. Well, let's get on with the rest of the tour then. I assume you two have a separate ledger for more scientific mumbo-jumbo, right? Yeah, outside in the center of the dig site. Excellent. Hope you don't mind if I have a look around the site while I'm at it. Still boggles the mind how distant this place is. Got any idea how far you guys are from the wall? Not exactly, no. I do. You guys are far out. Shit, if you guys went missing, no one would notice. No one would know. I'm sure someone would. Oh, eventually? Sure. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look around camp if you don't mind. Would appreciate your expertise while I'm going through your research. No rush, of course. Of course. Be right with you. Oh boy. So, things are going okay. Hope I sound convincing enough. How you doing, Jorge? Well, how'd it go? What's the read on that guy? Oh, no, for a bit. He's not letting on much. I don't like it. Doesn't feel honest. Not sure what I'd expect from HQ after how they've been acting. It's an awful lot friendlier than the usual radio operator, that's for sure. Not sure I like it. Yeah, he's asking a lot of quite an interest on the two of us, asking personal questions. So what do you tell him exactly? All sorts of things. He just made conversation about anything he saw. Right. Don't let him talk over and around you. Keep it focused. Don't let him try anything. And don't try anything yourself. Hold on, what's that supposed to mean? You seem a decent enough guy, Eli, especially the past couple of days. But I'm just... Well, you know people like this better than me. How well, I'm not sure. I just remember that we're supposed to be a team. You know, there's a chance he doesn't see it that way. I'm certain of it. Don't trust him, Eli. Stick to the plan. Don't try anything fancy, and if you do, run it by me, of course, first. Of course. Glasses, I gotta say, you two have kept this camp pristine since considering you're in the middle of a desert. What's your secret? You just a neat freak? That's all Jorge. He cares a lot about protocol. Right. How's your pal doing, by the way? Saw you two chatting away. He's not joining us? Jorge is slow to warm up to people. Right, of course. Listen, I keep thinking about it. What's it like out here? You know, being out in the wilds, the wilderness, the waits. It's a struggle, that's for sure. I bet. Fellas got plenty of supplies, food, water. Those solar panels come in handy, I'm sure. But it's not like you can eat whatever comes out of them cables. Have you ever gone foraging out here? Looking for, plants, roots, whatever's edible? Thought never really crossed our minds. Suppose you two have had your hands too full to worry, huh? Ever consider that you might be too focused on the site, on the dig? I don't know. Maybe you missed something obvious. It's not impossible, I suppose. Praise the shepherd! The man isn't a walking, talking calculator after all. Feels like we're finally bonding a little bit, eh? Now, what do we say we get to work? These ledgers here. Assume that's all the research super genius like you have compiled over the past 6 months? I don't know about super genius, but yeah. Right. These are certainly notes, research, and lots of words. Say, you wouldn't mind if I skipped ahead to the more crucial passages, would you? Uh, I do think the context is fairly crucial. Right, of course. I just figured it'd go over my head. You know, a smart fellow like yourself, your work flies over the heads of simple errand boys like myself. Fair enough. Let's skip to the more conclusive entries then. Much appreciated. Let's see now. Right, we see here. I see the dream of a big city lab was alive and well starting from the very first experiments, huh? But you bit off more than you could chew from the get-go, didn't you? We could potentially contain it out here, but HQ would never allow it, thus the city. Of course! All those compromises aren't... all about compromises, aren't you? How about Jorge? Still feels the same way about this? Jorge can feel as he pleases. It makes no difference to me. As he pleases. That's some way of phrasing it, friend. You expect him to see things differently, then. You two don't get along when it comes to work stuff? We care about the work, not each other. Good. Things are cleaner that way, aren't they? No messy interpersonal things. Just two professionals knowing what's good for them. I appreciate you telling me, Glasses. Makes me feel like we're buddies now, too. Of course we are. Excellent! Just make things run a little smoother, don't it? Yeah, always good to know we can rely on each other. Good stuff. Gotta say, all things considered, with what you have here, it's impressive work to have been done out in the desert. Limited tools, limited resources. Scary stuff. You guys made something out of it. Bet you're happy about all of HQ's support, huh? Yeah, we wouldn't have made it without them. You don't say. Without all of this, you two wouldn't have made it for long, would you? Hypothetically, if I were to just jump into a car and drive off, leaving you guys out here, how long do you think you would make it? I'm not entirely sure. We were hoping you'd bring more provisions. Oh, I think I got some snacks in my car that you fellas could have. Ha! Just joking, of course. Don't worry about rations, bud. I got you covered. So you brought supplies for us. Oh, my backseat's full of stuff. I'll have you guys come and take a look at it once we're done with the tour. How about that? Speaking of the tour, I'd like to keep a lookout for a bit. Also, we have to pay a visit to our little friend, don't we? Of course, but take your time. Excellent. I just can't get enough of this camp of yours. Just amazing how you guys are doing. All I ask is you come and introduce me to our little friend. When you have time, of course. Take your time. We're in no rush. Okay.
Oh, hey.
This is it. This is our little guy. This is a specimen, yes. And I see that, I feel like I can hear it humming. That's just a containment pod. Don't worry about it. Ain't that something? So this thing just came out of the ground, huh? Crazy. How do you figure you ended up finding it? Well, the coordinates were given to us by HQ. We dug, and there it was. No lie! How, though? How do you think they knew what direction to point you? Figured they knew it was here, but that little cave? Bunker? It seems like the most logical conclusion, yes. Right. You think they know of other sites, too? No, we were just the most recent search party, and the ones that happened to be successful. You know, it's funny. I actually told something very similar not too long ago. It's interesting, isn't it? How we all sort of assume we're the only ones in our particular predicament. Was this person in a similar predicament to us? Very similar, in all sorts of ways. That is interesting, then. Ain't that something? Anyway, I've droned on long enough. Better get back to work. So, you being the expert here, anything we got to keep in mind? Anything I should be aware of? For now, no. It's safely contained. Sweet! In that case, I'll just have a little peek, if you don't mind. Okay.
Oh.
How would you look at that? Hello there, little thing. You weird, bizarre little thing. Looks like it's moving a little bit. Not normal? No, it's usually a lot more agitated. Well, shit. Ain't I lucky? Guys have to do something to it? I don't know, cool it down, give it some drugs or something? No, we just keep it under constant surveillance. We can't trust this thing. Is that a fact? Well, you seem to know what you're doing, that's for sure. It'll be fine for transport though, right? Put some padding down in the back seat of the car. Oh, we're going back to the city. Excellent. I mean, car's pretty full already. I know your colleagues already seen it. Seemed real interested in my ride. Not that I blame them. It's a beauty. Well, HQ will have no idea what they're looking at unless we're there to present it. Don't worry about that, bud. The notes and research you two fellows have collected will be more than enough to cover everything, I'm sure. Real fine job on those, by the way. Not everyone is as thorough. Who's everyone? You know, bits and bobs of information here and there. You two aren't the only fellows at Science City, you know. Plenty of clever people on the case. Are there other dig sites out here right now?
Oh.
Listen, I have questions. That's understandable. How about we talk over the car, or walk over to the car and talk it over? You know, all three of us. I'm sure your old pal wants to know as much as you do. I'd appreciate that. Yes. Stellar. Tell you what, I'll grab our little friend here too. That way no one's left out of the conversation. Ha! If you insist. Excellent. To the car we go. Last one there is a rotten geezer. Okay. Now we are definitely heading to an end point. Come on, let's not keep him waiting. I don't want him to see us talking to each other too much. He might get suspicious. Yeah, you're right. Let's go. Yeah, Eli definitely seems to be a Tanuki. There, all done. Bet you boys are happy slow inspection's over. Shake off the tension and all that. Is it over? It's over. We're at the end. Ain't that nice? Gotta do our jobs and come out better friends than ever. Warms the heart, don't it? Nothing you need us to answer? No more questions? I think you've covered most of it. Alright, still a question in my report. Not to worry though. We'll just do a quick recap. Of course. Excellent. Start off with simple stuff, yeah? Usually a whole section of personability and cooperation, a personality assessment, if you will. Since we've done most of the talking, Eli, I'll just put you down as the main subject. Sounds reasonable. Now, well, cooperation's been smooth, no problems there. Honestly, it's been business as usual. You've had your moments, but at the end of the day, it's the same as any other fella. And that's surely a good thing, right? It's certainly professional, but, well, professional is kind of boring. Two are textbook scientists. Clever, cooperative, and a little bit dull. I don't know. I was hoping for some more interesting people. No offense, of course. Well, we can try to be a little more sociable if that helps us in the report. Won't help much with the report, I'm afraid, but sure, who knows? Might make this next part a little easier. Easier? Which part? There, I'll tell you guys. This thing's real uncomfortable. I ought to get myself a new holster or something. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey.
Now, let's not all get jumpy. It's a gun, that's true. You've seen one before. I've seen one before. There's no need for excitement. I agree. We can talk about this. No cause for threat. Take it easy, Glasses. You're not in trouble just yet. You two, as far as I can tell, have been good boys. Maybe one or two slip-ups, but decent fellas. This here's just an additional security measure. Well, in that case, I'll endeavor to relax somewhat. Endeavor to relax. That's good. I like that. Appreciate the effort, too. Makes this whole process a lot smoother. This process being... I want to go through this step by step. I feel morally obligated to present the full extent, send the impression you made on me. You and Jorge. This camp, your journal, your research. The full Monty. Oh, sounds simple enough. Let's start with the fact that you two have been placing demands on me since I got here. You're the top guys, experts, masters of the universe, and you need things. Need them like you deserve them. Well, you're exaggerating. Now, I don't know about deserving things, but I'll admit you two are the experts on your little friend. Even if that's because you're the only two people who've ever seen it, till today. Well, I'm glad we could convince you. I bet you are, and I'll make sure to tell the fellas back at HQ all about it once I bring them the artifact. Well, it can't be taken to the city yet. We need to take precautionary measures. That's all well and good, but I gotta say, HQ was strict about a few things. None of them more than this. The artifact is coming with me. Today. Uh-huh. And what about us? What about you? Well, we'd like to stay here and continue our work. You're not seriously telling me you fellas like it out here that much, are you? Think of the city. Think of soft beds and air conditioning. Sounds like we're the first ever asked to stay out here. Let me ask you something. You want to know how this usually goes, Eli? These little visits of mine? Okay. Smoothly, easily, or at least the part where I say goodbye. And how does this visit compare? In short, it doesn't. You're a smart guy, Eli. You piece it together. These expeditions happen all the time, but no one ever comes back. You guys, unexpectedly, made some progress, and I show up, the man with the gun. And the man with the gun is going to shoot us. That's the plan. You said things usually go a lot smoother. What's different now? Listen, fellas, the easiest possible thing I could do right now is pull the trigger here twice, get in the car, and go home. Just like that. I sure consider it. Okay. I think you guys are telling the truth, and I don't think either of you pose a real threat to either me or HQ. I just don't really care much for either of you. Shame, you're growing on me, or at least until you pulled a gun on us. You don't say! Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whose perspective we're talking about, trust and threat tend to trump personal preference. Which means what exactly? This. Oh, good. Good! Man, you crack me up, Glasses. Go ahead, you two. You've held your breath since I got here. Let it out. You're a fucking piece of shit, you know that? Ha! There you go. Let it all out. I know situations like this get a little tense. No hard feelings, eh? Sure. Fantastic. Glad to see you two cool off a little bit. But I was being serious earlier, you know. I might have made my decision, but you're both coming with me to HQ, and, well, there's no saying what the verdict will be. And are you going to be on our side when they have that decision? Eli, I won't even be in the room for it. Thought that was obvious. That doesn't sound particularly fair. Ha! Welcome to the inner circle, fellas. Now, come on, get your things. We got places to be. Let's go home. Act 4 finished. Okay for now. You and Jorge live to see another day. Sliver of hope lingered with Eli and George on the way back to the city. Upon arrival, however, the two were interrogated separately. They were stripped of their titles and put to work in isolation. All mention of their names or presence at Science City have since been erased. Their current whereabouts are unknown. The artifact was presented to Dr. Eddie Hung, a high-ranking biochemist at Science City. Agreeing with the conclusions at the dig site, Hung decided to keep the artifact in a secure lab at the very top of Science City. Neither Eli nor Jorge were allowed to attend this evaluation. Any concerns they had were ignored. The dig site was abandoned after the visit. No official records mentioned its significance or location. Years after discovery, however, the city records would report a stolen car passing beyond the wall with forged documents for passage. It was headed in the direction of the site. Whoever made it there, however, wouldn't be the first. Someone, or something, had beat them to it. Ugh. So that has been Tales Noir Preludes, developed by Eggnut. I like it a bit more than Backbone, or Tales Noir as it's known now. Just because there's a bit more stuff to this. Like, what kind of was disappointing about Backbone was after the first chapter and a half or so, you just were following the path from one thing to another. And in this game, at least, you had branching paths. And I don't mind things being singularly pathed, like a point-and-click adventure game, but at that point, then you at least need to include puzzles. Voice actors, who, I mean, definitely existed, but, all they just gave were little grunts. The important team pets. And distributed by Raw Fury. But, yeah. Not a bad game. I'd say it's better than the first one. I think what kind of sucks about, the original game is it kills off the protagonist, who was a very likable person. So, like, getting rid of Howard, it kind of feels a little eh. Don't get me wrong, I really like Renee, and I like Clarice, and I like Eli, but Howard's kind of the face of the series for a reason. But we've got a new game plus, which will allow you to visit different things, and you'll actually have access to Howard's camera from his first chapter. But I think we're going to call it here. Thank you very much, and when we come back, speaking of deserts, we're going back to a hot place. Have a good one, folks.